Hello everyone, welcome in GWENT. As a new player, I had the same concerns as probably most of you, how to start and how to build a deck. Been playing a little bit, like I said in my previous material, been playing those challenges, and they give you a picture of each nation, you know, which card they're using, how to play them, what's relations between the cards in the deck. So I went to monsters. I started with Skellige, but Skellige is okay, but I didn't have probably enough cards to fight against the others. I had lots of problems, playing against the other players. So I decided to start with monsters. Monsters, there was a nation that probably suits me the best according to style of playing, and also I just like them. So let me take a look at the collections. Okay, that's my deck. All this deck is created from scrap cards, from beginning, and just few additional cards I made from create from scraps. I will explain later. So what do I have in my deck? I have Eredin as a king, then I get Geralt, Triss, Imlerit, and Royal Decree. All 4 golds, they are from the stock cards. Then Brewers, Whispers, Weaves, those 3 witches I just create from scraps. It cost me about 600 scraps altogether, which you can easily obtain from challenges that I mentioned before. Then I have Nitro, King of Beggars, and Dudu, all silvers. Then browns, 2 Fiends, Wild Hunt Rider, Necker Warrior, Ice Giant doubled, Ghoul doubled. The Ghoul being taken from opening, but you can easily create them by. They are cheap. They are 30 scraps each, so it costs about 60 scraps. Then Wild Hunt Hound doubled, Alzur Stander, 2 Frosts, Adrenaline, and Mahakam Ale. And now I'll try to explain why they did these cards. Eredin allows you to play any Bronze Wild Hunt unit, which is quite useful during the battle because you can combine. For example, like if you don't have Wild Hunt Dog on your hand, you can play Dog from your deck, and Dog brings Frost to the battlefield. And similar situation. Geralt, of course, is powerful. He has no abilities, but is quite powerful card. Triss, also nice one. Gives you 10 power and 5 damage, which means quite the same like Geralt. Imlerit, this is important because he gives 4 damage for the enemy. His power is 9 and then makes 4 damage, plus if you have Frostplate on the field and enemies under the frost influence, it doubles his damage. It deals 8 damage. So that's why you get so many frost related cards in the deck. All deck is basically related to the frost. Royal Decree, this card allows me to play additional gold card from my deck, which is quite useful. Those 3 witches I mentioned, Brewers, Whispers, and Waves, they're important part of this, because if you have only 1 on your hand, when you play 1 to the table, it automatically brings other 2 from the deck, which gives you a huge advantage. It's like 20 points of power. Neutral, there's another one related to Wild Hunt. It deals 5 damage to the enemy, but if you have Wild Hunt, in your hand, it deals 7 damage. Kings of Beggar, this is important card because, for example, if you are losing a lot, his base power is 5, but if you are losing, it boosts himself of amount of points that you are losing, a maximum of 10. So this is quite bad surprise for the enemy. Dudu, of course, Dudu is probably the nastiest surprise for him, because if you meet the opponent who plays, who likes to boost his team, his cards high, he always takes always takes the power of this card, just copy to himself. This is important, and this is quite bad because you may find a lot of players, especially at the beginning, who like to boost, you know, the one card to incredible amount of power, and use Dudu is then very useful. And then we have Fiend, 2 Fiends. Why the Fiends are here? Because they are so strong. They have 11 points of power, and they are useful for strong openings. And later on, if you see Ghoul, that's why I have Ghoul in there, because if you finish the first round, and all those cards get to the graveyard, the Ghoul is always taking a one card from the graveyard and boost himself of amount of points of this card. That's why I have Fiend, you know, for opening, because then Ghoul boosting himself of 11 points. Next one is Wild Hunt Rider. This is another important part, because if you play Frost, you have to make sure that the Wild Hunt Rider is played on the opposite side of the same row on your side. It gives you additional 1 point of damage that Frost deals every end of a round. Necker Warrior. This is another part of this deck. It shows a bronze ally and gives 2 copies of it to your deck. And they have 9 points of power. Ice Giant. This is another related to the Frost, because every time when you have Frost on the table and you play Ice Giant, it doubles his power, which is 6, and gives you 12 points. I got 2 of them. Ghoul been already explained. Wild Hunt Hound. This is another one. It has 4 points of power, plus it plays Frost from your deck, so you don't have to keep him. You don't have to keep Frost in your hand. It could be in the deck, and then when you play Wild Hunt Hound, it plays the Frost itself. And the only limit is you may have only maximum 2 Frost cards in your deck, so you can play it only twice. That's why I have 2. Next one, Alzo Standard. Alzo Standard is just to, for example, if your opponent plays a fortified card, which stays for the next round on the table, you can use this to easily to remove this card. Frost been explained. And Adrenaline, this is another tank, another card important, because this is what I just said about the enemy cards. If you make your unit resilient, which means it's fortified and it stays for the next round, stays on the table for the next round. This is useful, for example, if you play strong card, you get powerful opening, and your opponent give up the round. So when you are winning the round already, you just play Adrenaline on the strongest cards on your table, and that card stays for the next round. And Mahakam Ale, as the last card. Mahakam Ale is important because it gives you nice boost. It gives you 4 points of power for each row, boosting 3 cards for 4 points each. It gives you 12 points of power additional. Alright, that's it. Nothing fancy. And let me now try to get to the battle to see how this deck works. Right, let's try to get the battle. It's looking for an opponent. And this deck, it brings me to level 7 in ranking battles, and level 16 upgrade my account. And maybe you can't win all the battles, you can't win, it's not like ultimate deck, but it gives you enough to win some of them, or just single rounds to collect enough gold or scraps to build your own deck, your own. When you start playing that game, you will find a picture, what do you need, which cards do you need, and then just buy them or buy the cakes to open.
I respect nothing human.
As dead as a creature.
Oh, we have a strong opponent here. Right, what do we have? We have Frost, we have a Hound. Is everything that is needed here? Okay, I don't need to change anything.
This moment, I've seen it already.
So I'll play this one as a starter.
Everything all right?
Special prize, just for you, love.
Of course, we start playing. So my next move gonna be play Wild Hunt, Hound on the enemy, and Frost. You see, Frost takes 2 points every round. What is this?
Only death here for Dwan.
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vat.
Okay, so if I play Wild Hunt Rider now on this row, see, got -3. Increase the amount of damage by 1.
Piece of lembers.
And we just built another row, so I'll play Frost on this one now. Right, so when I play Geralt now, gonna be 30 plus a Frost effect.
Not your lucky day.
See? Okay. I think I'll stay with that. I'll try to swap neck. Ah, not bad. She's back. Well, no, too early. Try to
I'll
play
do what I
chase.
can.
Remove that.
Everything all right?
The Scoia'tael is
You should
probably,
not have
for me,
come
is one of
here.
the worst enemies. Especially if they start playing dwarves. Okay.
As dead as a creaser.
I'll play Wild Hunt. Hunt now. There's no Frost because I played Frost twice already. It's too bad.
Watch and learn.
I wonder how long you last.
Slaughter them to a man!
Okay. Too bad I can't boost the Ice Giant. Anyway.
Ladana.
There we go. The trouble is I got 2 witches on my hand now.
We were not the ones to start this war.
Starting with spies. Because if I had only one, I would play 2 orders from straight from deck. This time, when I play one, I'll play just 1 extra from the deck. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do.
What do you want?
And just kill that. Right, so my choice now is to play the witch.
And be the first and last.
I knew it.
Humans have no place in Broccolon.
Okay. And now they're maximized, so I'll play Dudu.
Coming!
I'll take 16 points from there. 10 points of difference, so I'm gonna lose this battle.
Why have you summoned me?
That was my mistake. I'm supposed to leave the witch. Okay.
Peace with humans? I buy that!
Now the only benefit of this ghoul gonna be to take in 11 points from the graveyard. So that's it. So he's playing ghoul as well.
Yield and save me some time!
Okay, but it wasn't that bad if you consider the level of the enemy. I got at least one round one. So that's how this works. If you play the strongest enemies is struggling, but you know sometimes you can win. It depends of a setup. But for lower enemies, lower level, it does the job perfectly. Right. I think that's it for today. If you have any comment, just write down below. And if you wanna see any other materials, you know, in the future about Gwent, just let me know in a comment as well. Meanwhile, thank you everyone for watching. If you like this material, just thumb up. If you wanna be informed about incoming parts, subscribe to the channel and press bell to be informed. Meanwhile, thank you again and goodbye.